Okay, so now is our 900 match. Let's take a look at our players. We have Mori 295, not to be confused with the map maker Mori, I think, unless Mori came back and didn't tell anybody. So they have about 40 games played, and they're at 1034. Then we have Honey Wizard, who unfortunately took a big losing streak, but is currently at 952, but was at a much higher rating not too long ago, in like the low 1000s, also known as thousands. Okay, so here we go. Oh yeah, the map is Siren's Call? Yeah, Siren's Call. It's a cool map made by the homie Blue Link. And yeah, I mean, we'll get into it. It has kind of a fun capture phase with all these landers floating around. You can go for an early airport to get a B-copter that pressures multiple fronts. So yeah, it's a fun, flexible map. So the matchup here is Javier versus Sasha. Javier enjoys like a pretty easy to get comm tower here, and the fronts can stale if you try hard enough. So his artillery are pretty nice. And then Sasha, of course, is just kind of medium good on many maps. We'll see how she plays out here. An important thing to note about this matchup is it's possible to get 3-star super CO, or it's possible to get 3-star CO powers versus Sasha once there are enough units on the field. Let's see. So nothing too out of the ordinary here so far. Honey Wizard boosted this infantry. Hold on. Yeah, Honey Wizard's been boosting infantry through this lander. This infantry is going for the port, and this infantry looks like it's going here and then here, maybe? Although this city is contestable. Looks like Honey Wizard is actually has a possibility of getting this city and this city pretty soon without much fight from Gray. Okay, a little more conservative capture. I think capturing here is maybe better, because then that way you can back capture this pretty easily, whereas it can be harder to capture this city, but might not matter. Okay, that was weird. That was a full econ turn from Honey Wizard just building infantry into double tank on the right hand side. Another tank or artillery on the right hand side, although it's an infantry build on a one base side, so but like a tank here that can then like reinforce. I don't know. I just think yeah that the triple infantry build tells me that Sasha has something evil planned. So it looks like Gray Sky's gonna get the airport first. There's a pretty big force over here dissuading this infantry from interrupting this cap. Okay, so the tank's attacking here, killing this infantry. They're both on pretty heavy terrain, so you can get away with that pretty easily. Although you have to worry about this city being captured by that infantry. Okay, B-copter build here comes in clutch for sure. I wish more people would use refresh list so that it didn't jump turns like that. So Mori now is going for the second big steal in the center of this property. Or first it was that, and now Mori's going for this. Oops, I'm turning too far. So this scenario, on paper it looks like a pretty solid attack. It's backed up by this artillery. You can kill this infantry with this infantry, I think, and then wrap around, kill, and then B-copter hits B-copter, but then you get hit by a B-copter. So yeah, this seems like a pretty solid attack by Sasha at first glance. But actually, so Mori makes a really nice move here and attacks into it with a half force, and then strengthens the position with a battleship, which is a pretty nice move. Okay, and here comes a market crash. Usually it's better to market crash near the end of your turn, just for the sake of minimizing the amount of charge your opponent gets. But it could just be that Sasha needs the firepower here. Okay, Mori moves. The battleship is dishing out damage. These two B-copters are pretty uncontested. These infantry are going to die for free. Looking a little bit better for Sasha here. Oh, I see, but it's Javier CO power. I like the idea of using more artillery into Javier. Like, unless you're max, you don't really want to attack into Javier with just tanks. Having artillery helps a lot during his non-CO power turns. And it kind of keeps him honest, too. It doesn't allow him to wall you quite as easily. Another market crash. Again at the beginning of the turn. So attacking into the battleship range, not a fan of that. You need to stay out of the battleship range, or else it's going to eat you up. I think that's what we're going to see here. If you just attack the right-hand side and kind of pull back in the center left, then you're going to have much better luck. Yeah, these infantry are too far. They're too deep. I mean, Mori is still getting some nice exchanges, but it's just fighting under a battleship is gonna hurt too much. So it looks like Honey Wizard is finally pulling back over here. and is fully out of battleship range, which is a good thing. But Mori actually has a pretty significant unit gold advantage by this time, and a solid unit count advantage. And Mori had a really nice power turn too, like sitting forward on high defense properties on CO power, which is really heavy. Like hurts a lot. I mean. Uh-oh. Okay, I was gonna say, is this two tower Javier we're about to see? You can't allow that to happen. That just cannot happen. So again, Honey Wizard is CO powering for the firepower boost and not for the charge denial. I think you really have to prevent the charge denial from going through, or else Mori is gonna have another beautiful CO power turn. So it's like they were just short here, but that was very close to being a CO power turn. And at this point, the game looks pretty lost. It's just snowballed out of control by this point. Okay, now they do market crash at the end of their turn, but it's actually not even enough. And so we're going to see CO power and game, I imagine. There's the turn, and yeah, that looks too many damage tanks over here. And there's the resign button. Cool, okay. So I think the takeaways from that game are don't fight under battleship fire. And the other thing is, which Honey Wizard picked up on later, which is make sure to use Market Crash at the end of your turn so you can actually lower, so you don't charge the enemy CO power with attacks after you already wiped the bar down to 0.